Hello, hello, hello. A very exciting welcome to you. This is Dan from the Fundamentals with another unboxing video. This is one that I have been very excited about for a very long time, and I'm so happy that Stonemaier Games has sent me a copy of Wingspan to check out. This is one of the hottest games of 2019. It was actually on our most anticipated 2019 games that came out in January, because it is just a fantastic idea for a game. If you haven't heard about it, I'm surprised if you're in board games, but it's here now, and you're hearing about it now, and I'm so excited to get this and dig into it. So this is Wingspan. Now, this version that I got came with some update decks. That is something that Stonemaier Games likes to do with a lot of their games, is as things come up and develop, they release new versions of the rules in little packs that you get that often come with new additions to the game. But before we talk about that, let's look at the game itself. So the box is big and it's heavy. A lot packed in here. Stonemaier got a lot of bits and dudes. There's, already you can see the beautiful art. There's a ruby-throated hummingbird, and a swallow, and a beautiful barn owl. On this side, we've got a finch, maybe. Over here, we have that's definitely a finch. And if we look at the back, you get to look at the main thrust of it. A competitive bird collecting, engine building game for 1 to 5 players, designed by Elizabeth Hargrave, illustrated by Natalia Rojas, Ana Maria Martinez Jaramillo, and Beth Sable. Gain food tokens, lay eggs, draw from hundreds of unique bird cards. I won't give away too much of that, but not to 3 sad onions from Stonemaier Games. But let us look inside. What's in the box? Also, Automa Factory, who also worked on Ignorance is Bliss. It's something that they've worked a lot with Stonemaier to create games that can be played solo. That's what these games. Ooh, this is fancy. The paper is, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of, you can see it's not paper, it's kind of plasticky, glossy. Contains all of these things we will see later. And here's the credits, here's the rules. If you want bespoke gaming, you cannot do better than, I'm going to be honest, there's very few companies you can do better than Stonemaier Games. They put so much love, so much detail into there, even just the book here. Let's see, there's a picture of a beautiful hawk. But, just, there's the rule book. And, of course, an appendix, which you can remove if you have the surgical training. That gives you a sort of, once you've learned the rules with this, you don't have to necessarily keep pulling this out. You can also have this appendix that can remind you of things like your bird powers. Birds have powers. Flocking, hunting and fishing, egg laying, food gaining. What kind of, the basic conceit of the game is that you're a bird lover or bird expert who is studying these birds and wants to attract the best birds to your, bird sanctuary. And so you can be a photographer who prefers birds with colors, obviously, an anatomist who likes body part birds, the cartographer who has geography in their name, or the historian who likes names named after a person, like Clarks and Bairds. And all kinds of little bonuses. So there's a lot of intricate details of this. You play birds, you gain food, that kind of thing. And then Automa, this is something that they worked a lot with, that lets you play against an artificial person. Similar, the name is the Italian word for automaton, which the first game they had that had this single player robot mode was Automa. If you want to, was a bit of culture, so Italian. If you want a bit of an idea of how Automa rules might work, I'll link my review of Ignorance is Bliss, which is the Automa expansion to Euphoria, another Stonemaier game. That gives you a vague idea of how they are able to work out a thing with a brain using just cards. It has special rules. It doesn't work like a person. It's basically sort of a series of steps that simulate a challenge. So it's sort of a way of playing like Wingspan Solitaire. But let's look at the box. Ooh, I'm excited. So, eggs. They put all their eggs in one basket. The fools. The fools. Brown eggs, green eggs, and white eggs, and pink eggs, and of course, robin's egg blue. Of course. And then our dices and our little markers. Gotta love these as well. You gotta love all the bags. You gotta love all the bags. They give us so many bags they just give me, it gave me so many bags with Euphoria that I ended up actually using some of them with other games that were less nice with bags. Lovely little wooden cubes, and of course the desiccant salt packet do not eat. Does not, despite being very snacky looking. And some lovely dice. I think these are the foods. I think you roll these. Oh, they're wooden dice, friends. They are wooden painted dice. The aesthetic of it all. Yeah, there's a fish. There's I think it's a caterpillar. Betty's rat. Wheat or worms. And I think that is, yeah. So yeah, you can see that you roll these, I think, to get the food you need to attract different birds. And we have, so they've been doing work with game trays, which are fantastic. I'll probably do a full thing of the game trays in Euphoria at some point. Another gaming company. These local companies do a lot of really cool work where they sort of aggregate from a lot of different companies to create things. So you get a really cool, almost collaborative effort between companies. But this is the bird tray. If you look, it actually tells you here how the box is laid out and where things are. So this is the bird tray, and I mean, look at that. It's got a bird. Put a bird on it. Put a bird on it. And then there's feathers. This is just so cool. And then we open it up. Come on. Yeah, see? Isn't that awesome? And then we have more bags. Gotta love bags. And then this is the score sheets, telling you how many birds, bonus cards, eggs, food, tucked cards. Birds like to tuck. And then here is a player. Here are the player mats, I believe. Round 1, round 2. And then we have the decks of, we will look at those in a second. Those are the decks of birds. Bird deck. Woo! And then we have, I believe, are these the, let's see. Oh, these are the player mats. My bad. That was something else. These are the player mats. Hefty cardboard, very beautifully colored. Gain food, lay eggs, draw bird cards. Then activate any brown powders. Let's see. Dice allocation. So it's an engine game. So what that means is, I mean, look at the. I mean, love that. Look, it looks like a it's faux leather. It looks like an ornithology manual. It even has the fake tear spots because you're a bird enthusiast. So you take your ornithology journal out into the wild a lot, so it gets a little beat up. Basically, you're building an engine. You get birds that then attract other birds. Basically, you're building up a self-sustaining way of getting better and better and better and better in birds, and generating more and more and more and more points. And so it's competitive, and it's just a really neat idea. Of course, we have little trays for keeping things in. Use the special logo on it. And this is a really exciting thing. This is, I believe, this is the birdhouse tower. It is a dice rolling tower that you set up out of this hefty cardboard. It looks like that in turn. And you put it together, and you have something that rolls your dice for you. And then these are the food tokens. Food tokens, all that kind of stuff. And there's a big bird. Big bird. Bird is the word. Put a bird on it. Yeah, so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to put this together so that you can see what it looks like. So I'll be back in a moment. Ta-da! Look, it's a birdhouse. Isn't it? It's a sweet little thing, isn't it? I mean, look, it's got a nice, really pretty, even the roof's got some faux rust, and the wood is warped and old, but it's a birdhouse, yeah. It's a very heavy cardboard, you can see there, and the demonstration, where'd them dice go? Ha! You just roll the dice, you just grab them in here, and out it comes. Oh, we rolled worm. Let's see what this one gets. And that is, worm or blue. Can we do 2 at a time? We can! I'll take it definitely. Can we do 3 at a time? We can. Can we do all 4 at a time? This is the big thing. Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, we're quite 4 at a time, but you get the picture. So, I mean, it's a really fantastic way to make sure your dice actually roll. I don't know whether this would actually be anything heavier. These are very light, like a balsa wood. I don't know how effective this would be with other things, other types of dice. Now, it's a really quick, simple process. I was able to do it like that, and I'm normally not so great at this. So, it's a really nice. It's a neat little peripheral that really helps the flavor of the game out. Now the only thing is, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, you can take it apart, but being cardboard, it can be hard to take it apart, put it back without the bends and the seams and everything going kind of out of whack. So it is a nice thing you can kind of keep on the shelf and say, "Look at my birdhouse. Let's play a game with the birdhouse." That kind of thing. So you gotta love it, folks. And finally, there, we have the things that live in the house. They have always lived in the house. See the symbols? These are the birds themselves. You gotta love when they give you a little tab below the tabs, because it makes this video a little easier because I'm not ripping and tearing. So, as expected from the box and everything, the art for these birds is gorgeous. Mockingbird, the hooded. Oh, that's that big-head duck. Big wren, a chat, a common nighthawk, a sparrow, a chimney swift, a blue grosbeak. He doesn't look that gross. Oh, there's a Cooper's hawk. You can see they have the different values on them. When they're active, the different bird powers. Even tells you that the bird howl's haunting call sounds like woohoo, 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 woohoo. Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you? It even tells, look, you can see the size, 107 centimeters, what it eats, where it lives, its Latin name, and its general distribution. See, North America, whereas the Swainson's hawk, which is 130 centimeters, and eats worms and bugs. Worms, eats bugs and rodents, lives in the grassland, it lives in the Americas. Feed chicks, small animals, and birds, but adults eat mostly insects, so the babies are... And there's a peregrine falcon found literally everywhere. Falco peregrinus, so this is Falco. Diving to attack, a peregrine falcon can reach a speed of 200 miles an hour. Ferringinous hawk. Nice. So, I mean, if you're a bird enthusiast, this is just like catnip, isn't it? And I mean, it's honestly, if you love the outdoors, this is like what if bird watching was a board game, but like better, because bird watching can be kind of boring. There's a mountain chickadee, white-breasted nuthatch, Clark, the red-headed, an acorn woodpecker, red-bellied, northern shoveler, a sandpiper. There's Anna's hummingbird. Come get your hummingbird, Anna. Come on. A hermit thrush. Oh, he's lonely. A killdeer. That's not very nice, killing deer. Cassin's sparrow. Northern bobwhite. I'm sure you're Baltimore Oriole. Baseball fans, I'm sure, are happy. Yeah, this is a great one to play with your friends who are really obnoxiously know bird calls. Night heron, the Chihuahuan raven, the common raven, nice, the cardinal. So, I mean, just birds on birds on birds. And then finally, the third thing of birds. You're going to be dealing with a lot of birds in this game. As we saw, what kind of birds you want to get are obviously affected by what your end goals are. Oh, hold on. You know, they give you these to make your life easier, and they break, and suddenly it's all... Oh, there we go. Manhandle it. Apologies. There we go. Bobolink, brown pelican, goldfinch, northern flicker. That says flicker. See? Flicker. Just want to make sure you guys understand that. The Bell's vireo, painted bunting. Ooh, the greater prairie chicken. They can make their necks get all big. Savannah sparrow, eastern bluebird, mountain bluebird, the great blue heron, great egret, and then that's all the birds. And then these are, let's see. So you can see there's the different bird, plant. These are different things like enclosure builder, photographer. These are all sort of kinds of birds and roles you can take. You can be an enclosure bird, you can be a photographer, an omnivore expert, a bird feeder, a historian, oologist. I think that means you like eggs. Platform builder, cartographer, viticulturist. So you're a bird watcher who's into wine. Food web expert, a forester, a breeding manager, falconer. They have to have the skull and crossbones killing factor. Large bird, fishery manager, visionary leader, prairie manager, wildlife gardener, bird counter. I count birds. Passerine specialist, rodentologist, ecologist, wetland scientist, nest box builder, and anatomist, and backyard birder. Nice. So these are all the different roles you can do. They all give you your win conditions and some of your abilities and stuff, and how many of how many birds in the game match your requirements. And finally, we have here This is these are Automa cards. These are the Automa cards. They have the gear on the back. See, those are your cards for robots. And then there's your round tracker. These are the extra cards that help you when you're playing by yourself play the Automa deck. So that is Wingspan. It's a lot of game, like a lot. But it is, like I said, I mean, it is gorgeously rendered. The art is fantastic, but even the backs are pretty. If you're a bird enthusiast, if you're a board game enthusiast, if you like playing board games with birds, this game is probably going to be right up your alley. Of course, I haven't just opened it. I haven't reviewed it yet. You can pick it up. Currently, they're taking back stock because it has sold out. Because, ooh, dog, this was a popular game, and it has won awards and awards and awards. Huge board game geek ratings. It's been taking the world by storm. You can still get in on the back stock order on Stonemaier Games website. It retails all this for $55, and that backstock should be out by end of July. And then retailers backstock, which is another $55, which is retailing for about $55 at local game shops, but also some Barnes & Noble and stuff. They'll be getting more stock in August. So if you can't find it now, which is a very good chance, you can still get in on it, get sort of pre-order, get everything, so you can get in on the next round. And I have no doubt that there will be a lot of people who will be getting for that too. So make sure you get on that. So I will have a full review of this as soon as I get a chance to play it a couple times and sort of learn the ins and outs, because there's a lot of those in these games. But until then, happy birding and happy gaming.